Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meticulous Talks on June 22nd of 2024. I am Chris, of course.
Damn Hifrock.
I learned something this week, Hithrock.
What did you learn?
I learned when Continentals is going to be. I think that might have been
Oh,
known for a long time already, but it's the first time I learned about it.
it has been implied that Continentals is going to be at Everfree, yes.
Yeah. Which, yeah,
But not
makes
confirmed.
not confirmed, no. I had personally been assuming it was going to be a Cyberfest.
I have seen it as a coin flip. But at the same time, I'm kind of surprised, I guess is the word, that it's at
Surprise.
Everfree.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of. I think last year it was fairly implied, I don't know about strongly implied per se, that it was going to be at Ciderfest. It seemed like the direction everyone was going.
Well, I mean, it was depending whether they could agree, come to agreement with the con to not repeat 2019.
Hmm.
But I'm less surprised that it's happening at Everfree and more surprised that the plan is to have the new format.
Oh, so I was going to say that, like, it did, knowing that it's going to be, or at least assuming that's going to be at Everfree, made a lot of other things make more sense. The sort of fairly rapid pace that we've been getting spoilers and developments of the set makes sense if it needs to be here for August rather than for November, right? Um,
Yes,
but you said it's going to be released before Continentals, and the new core will be the format for the tournament. Is that what you said?
that's what Woodgazer's post implied, right?
Hmm. Let me read it again. Guess so.
He says that there is some hope that the set will be tested, finalized, printed, and delivered on time before Continentals. Why would there be a concern if the format was not the new format?
Hmm. I mean, you're right. That would be a bit surprising. Um,
I think that's what's gonna happen, but I'm surprised that, like, it is like it's not how it's usually been done before so far, right?
mhm. Yeah, I would have expected the new set to drop after the tournament. Um, just because Continentals is a big tournament. You want to generally, at least, you want to have people playing it in a format that they're used to and be able to practice for a long period. Well, practice and theorize your decks for a long period before the event and such. Um,
Yeah, it does a huge shake to the game right before the biggest tournament of the game.
mhm.
But I mean, maybe the implication I'm seeing is not there. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Um,
We
we
can
shall
talk more
see.
about it next stream.
We can certainly, and regardless, HithCon is going to be the beta tournament, right?
Yes, that's the plan.
That's fine. Okay, which is
I
also
think everyone but Max, not calling out Max specifically, but everyone but Max is okay with it, and Max is like, "Oh, I want it to be the same format as Continentals." Well, guess what? It might be the same format as Continentals. So, yeah, I think it'll be really fun to try, like, to give everyone a chance to try the new format like right away since the open beta is here.
mhm. That's what the beta's for.
Yeah,
Get
and also
some
yeah, data.
indeed. Okay, Grand Plaza's here. gives us an even stronger implication of that the set will release before Continental set, if it's Continental. Can also be the same format.
There we go.
So that means that what we'll be looking at today, the Windy City results, but at least for the core bit, won't be the same format as Continentals. So a little bit less value in the analysis, perhaps. We're now looking at the tail end of core as opposed to, well, the tail end.
I mean,
of the
this is the send-off for the current meta.
I suppose so.
The last tournament.
Would you like to start with the Harmony or the core? As they were both.
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin. Okay.
Heads, core, tails, Harmony.
Don't have a real coin, so I'm not doing this online. Okay, so you said heads was core, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go loonies. Heads is core. Okay.
Perfect. Let's start with core then.
Alrighty then. Both of the Windy City events had 6 participants. I actually looked to see if they were the same 6. I see
Would
different
you call
names.
them the main 6 participants?
I think Joking Luna might have missed an opportunity to say that in his results post.
Yeah, I see Anamo in Harmony, but not in core.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, starting in core, we're gonna go bottom to top like usual. Oh, hello everyone, Anamoy Pancake, wonderful. We have a full crowd here this week. Right, so starting from Brandon Pagano, I believe. Yes. Rogar White. Let's see. It's not farm. I always have to look at those troublemakers. This is not farm. This is mill?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it has Rock Turret, Sweetie Belle,
Mm-hmm.
Raise This Barn. What other things in there? Is that it? There might be more things I'm missing.
Well, those are all the kind of direct mills. There's a fair amount of discard as well between the Garble and the Rarity and Trenderhoof. Well, I guess those two. Still pretty good.
Yeah, it has like Shadows of Control too.
Right.
With Mudbriar and Blade Stripes, and Desert Road.
Right. I mean, yeah, as opposed to the fast mill that we've become used to seeing with Celestia, that's all about copying events and just draining your opponent's deck fast. This one eventually drains your opponent's deck and plays the hand disruption in the meantime. So
Yeah, I guess the idea is to slow them down, and while you mill slower, they're also slower, so. But yeah, it is a mill in core, unlike the other list, which is adventure only.
did I screw something up? Did I say Celestia when I meant someone else? Does the fast mill play Twilight? Or I've honestly forgotten.
The main? Yes.
Okay.
There's a spell for that.
Okay.
I mean, all purple mains look the same.
True, don't they? They're all Twilight.
No, one of them is Strixie.
Um,
That's actually colorist. Thank you very much.
I mean,
But also unicorns are the best.
they're pretty good.
And that should tell you how good Pip is because she's not even a unicorn. That's how good she is.
That's the way this is going. Okay.
All right.
All right. Do. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot in here that looks fine, normal. Good to have. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, is Saddle Row? Well, okay, so there are neutral, sort of colorless action token generators, um, but Saddle Row gets you there in white quite efficiently, as we all know. I need to remember that action tokens are kind of in white's color identity now too. Not that they weren't before. Prepared was a thing in white, but
Yeah. I'm kind of. I think I think Winterzilla is a very interesting option here. It is a troublemaker, but also Orange has Big Mac, which is the ultimate resource removal. That is extremely good. Doesn't work
yeah,
that well against Desert Road, I suppose.
it, yeah. Well, I mean, it's still okay against Desert Road. They just have a
Yes,
turn to get
it's
rid
not
of it.
completely non-functional. Yes.
Yeah. You have so since we're in white, you have the option of playing the swapper, the belly flop resource, which or sorry,
Oh, but do you really want to belly flop your own resources? Maybe
uh,
speech.
your parachute is a fine belly flop target, honestly.
But if you would you, I think I would rather leave parachute and play.
Okay, speech for sure, yes. Um, I mean, you've got Stygian for
That's
resource
true.
for copies, so I assume you're not going to be short on resources.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. But yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking the reason Winter Zero was chosen compared to Big Mac is because it is a troublemaker. It is ultimately a control tool as well.
Yeah, that is like in G in core. I mean, we've seen so few troublemaker control decks in a long time. I don't even know like what the best troublemakers are if they're not epics these days.
Sirens.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Who's absent here?
Yeah, there's no sirens here. There is the change. Oh my god, attention change instruction is also an entry.
It
So
is.
much entry. Too much entry. Rushed makeover, motivational speech, changeling distraction.
that
Entirely
is
too much
that
entry.
is 8 cards.
You cut down on 2 speeches and add 2 Trixies. Well, you add 2 of something.
About to ask which Trixies are we adding here?
The rock farmer one,
This
since
is
it's orange and it's not entry.
but this is core.
You still add them. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would definitely cut an entry, but I'm also greedy.
I mean, yes, you are.
But like, it's a 2-color list. You can get away with running 6 entry. You don't need 8. Maybe you cut changeling distraction and put sirens in.
Maybe.
Although one point is that Mudbriar is a 4 rec card, so there's that.
There is
Just
that.
one speech is not gonna cut it.
Well, one, one. Well, no, because your main's Grogar and you're starting Buckball strategy. So one speech actually is
Oh
sufficient.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, then yeah, totally too much entry. He ended up color locked against me. But how? There's so much entry here. Also, draw better.
Well, I mean, we'll see what Pancake's deck is, I suppose.
Yeah. Should
Uh,
we move to the next list?
yeah, we probably should. We do have 12 of these to get through, and we just spent 15 minutes on that one.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. Okay. Next one.
Oh, this is my style of deck.
Is it?
Well, not really. Kind of. There's
That's right. You are a Pukwudgie player now. That's true.
yes.
I forgot about that.
The only difference being I played the not this version. I did not have any events or any other cards. Because when you run 1,000 of them, what's the point of like putting any other card makes things way more complicated.
It just allows you to get lucky sometimes.
Well, but then how do you
right.
track?
Yeah, it means you need to actually shuffle it, and yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. A fair point.
Otherwise, like if there was a way to do that, I would totally do like 1,000 pack wedges with like some cards sprinkled in.
You need to bring some minions whose only job is to shuffle your deck.
Yes, and then you like do a spreadsheet with math to see like what exactly the percentages you want to get a particular card, and how many pack wedges should there be to offset it.
You could. I mean, this is probably against the rules, but if you know the math, you can just simulate your deck with a random number generator, and
Yes.
only when it comes up something other than Pukwudgies, then do you draw a card.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that would actually work because like there's a calculatable chance of you to draw a non-Pukwudgie card, and that card is random, like which non-Pukwudgie card it is. So yes, you calculate that, and then if it's a non-Pukwudgie card, you draw a card from your deck of non-Pukwudgie cards. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Although
Anyway,
it will require even more explanation to your opponents, like, okay, these dice are the hand, these dice are the deck, and then there's also this deck, and if I roll that now,
yeah.
it's great. So, one immediate comment from my experience as a Pukwudgie player, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have experience now, is I think if you're running Nova, which you are running Nova, there's no other options really for Pukwudgies. You should run Infiltrating the Hive as your starting problem. And that is because flipping Nova just to play your first Pukwudgie is really bad. You would much rather save Nova's effect for later turn as a burst.
Yeah.
And discarding 2 Pukwudgies. Well, so I don't know how math works out for this deck, but for the full Pukwudgie deck, you really never play more than 1 Pukwudgie per turn because it mostly can gain 5 AT, right? Which means your starting hand of 6 Pukwudgies, like it's not a problem to discard one because you'll always draw 1 every turn, and you'll always be able to play 1 every turn. So discarding is actually doesn't cost you anything. So infiltrating is a good option. But it might be a little different for this deck because this deck has other cards that don't cost free.
Yep. Yeah, true. I mean, realistically, this deck is about half Pukwudgies, half other things. It is probably as interested in its troublemakers than is in being the kind of metronomic aggro that Pukwudgies can be.
Yeah.
Joaquin Luna is here. Comment and mentions that someone had suggested Buzzer Keep Away as a problem. Which
But
makes,
like, do you not confront it?
it's
purple.
You don't, but I guess the assumption. So in this deck, right? A lot of your, like, if you've got big troublemakers out, then it acts as your just AT to score kind of thing.
Yeah, but then paying free for buzzer keep away is the same as confronting whatever problem you would have had otherwise.
Hmm.
Except confronting would be free or less than free AT per turn. Like, unless you're intending to confront buzzer keep away, I don't see how buzzer keep away is worth it by itself. It's very worth it if you can't confront it yourself anyway. That's fine then.
Right, but yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, if your troublemakers are unconfrontable, that means you've got like 5 or 6 puck wedgies out, and so you can confront something. Yeah.
Yeah, you can confront whatever problem you have in front of you otherwise, right? And yeah. So I'm not sold on buzzer keep away, but like even if it is a control deck, TM control deck. But yeah.
Yeah. Another point in favor of your suggestion of the infiltrating Flutter kind as can be has a resurrection text, which makes it even better to discard some puck wedgies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that is absolutely a good starting problem. But again, Jokinlin points out that's like this is a TM control deck primarily, which makes sense, and mystery makes sense in that case, right? Because you want to find your Bakwaji TM
Sure.
ASAP.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense too.
And the infiltrating is like more of an aggro start because you're saving no ability for later.
Mhm.
It is kind of surprising how aggro Pakwajis can be with Nova. It can be they can. I may have not won a single game, but I'm saying it's like on the edge. If you get lucky, that is.
Okay. And in some sense, that's not too surprising. Like it's a fairly certainly the way that you did it. It's a fairly predictable deck. Um, but there's strength and consistency in just playing
It's
your
very consistent deck, yes.
yeah. Okay, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Right.
Should bring Pakwajis to Continentals.
You're allowed to do that. No.
Well, half of them.
Yeah. Not all of them, unfortunately.
Oh, this is purple pink.
This is Golden Note. This is once again as usual. I'm looking at all these decks for the first time. This doesn't look like a BRB thing.
No.
This is just a mid range kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair amount of purple control events.
There's a ton of eccentric here.
Ton of eccentric is true. You can get sunset quite high up there if you want to.
I wish Sunset was not 4 rec.
A lot. Yeah, this deck. I mean, you've got some amount of friends. You can get through.
Yeah, for TM-less control, the way I see it, there's like kind of there's not a lot of paths to go to, right? Your path number one is eccentric. That's pretty good control tool when you don't have TMs because they are eccentric is kind of like a TM. Prevents your opponents from confronting stuff unless they get more power there. It's not the same, but kind of the same if you squint. And then you have like that's one of the options. Another one of the options is to remove everything your opponent ever owned.
Hmm.
But that's what BRB does, sort of.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and taxes.
Yeah. BRB with bodyguard for the like. You don't have eccentric, but you do have. If you confront stuff, I get a billion AT. So
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Animoy points out that this deck needs Trixie, and he's absolutely correct.
All right.
Look
This
at all
is.
of these events.
Oh, I was gonna say the pink purple, right? But we're not. We're not BRB. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
not BRB, yes.
Yeah. But the event lover Trixie. Yes. That makes a lot of sense. We don't actually have a whole lot of AT gain in here, do we? I mean, there's Tranquility.
There's Zikora,
There's Same Day. There's Zakora. Okay, actually, there's a fair amount.
Rainbow Shine.
Okay.
But I think putting Trixie in here would definitely be worth it. Like maybe instead of Headmare, I know copying events is fun, but having a ton of AT is even more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Trixie would make a lot of sense. Also, now, the Golden Note go with your philosophy on entry? Let me see. Fire Friendship, Rush Makeover is 5. And
No,
then
there's 8
Pinky,
entry in here.
8 entry cards.
Too much. Look, most of the cards here are purple. Well, again, there's a sunset that's 4 and 4, so there's one consideration for the entry. But like 3 pinkies and 3 rushed makeovers, surely you can do that with just those.
I mean, yeah, frankly, looking at this, well, there's the belly flops. They're pretty good. But
And just have like Rainbow
like,
Shine at play. Even though
well, I mean,
Rainbow
yeah, like
Shine does not get
I'm
you there.
honestly thinking of just going mono purple instead. I mean, you got so many purple events.
Oh, but then you lose all of your eccentric stuff. You
Eh,
lose Discord, which is vexing. You lose Sunset. You lose Sunburst. So like you're left with Zikora. You also don't get Rainbow Shine, which is your ET gen, but I guess you can get Trixie instead.
yeah,
But my point is that in this deck, Trixie should be in addition to other ET gens, not instead. And I mean, Belly Flop is a good thing, but yes, honestly, Eccentric and Belly Flop is the main reason for Pink here. Maybe Pink
right.
Essence. The other Pink events are, they're like fine, but it's not something like this. They're not the reason you run Pink.
Yep, yeah, that's a fair point.
Not in my opinion.
Hmm.
But you could definitely go mono purple route here, yes. Though keep in mind that preferably each one of the replacements for pink card here would be a different purple card, preferably, because
Yeah,
you still want to flip your main sometimes.
yeah. Well, so if you want to go mono purple, it stops being so controlly because what you would do is you would put in whatever it's called now, Spirit Siphon, and have like I always go back to restricted section Celestia as your endgame, um, and you play more mid rangey, etc.
Yeah, I mean this deck is kind of mid rangey as is.
It turns
Like
into
even
unicorn
the
aggro as it always should. Anyway,
yeah, even the main. But I think the main is just a consequence of the we don't really have a purple main that's good for control, but not TM control. We have Royal Tutor, but Royal Tutor is not this kind of deck
yeah,
because you kind of want to focus on unicorns and alicorns at that point, and not every deck wants to do that. But yeah, I guess if you're going mono purple, you're kind of steering towards the Royal Tutor territory because you have a ton of purple events, and you play them and you find your stuff.
anyway, moving along.
Yeah, I love purple.
Don't we all? This next deck's not purple.
Oh. Well, it is changelings.
It is. So let me make sure I got this right. Decora is what I'm seeing as the player name. One I'm not familiar with. Playing Ocellus, Changelings, white and yellow. Now, I know you can't underestimate the Changelings anymore, even with Timble in the deck. They're pretty good.
Is there enough Timble?
I mean, there's as much as there can be.
That is true.
So it better be enough.
Maybe Timble should have the Puckwatch text.
That would be something.
That would be amazing. Yeah, jokingly points out that this is Buckfest. It's like, yeah, this deck seems familiar.
Yeah, looks an awful lot like it. Okay. Did Okay, yeah, so they were 2 and 2 with it. Mighty fine. Is this the same? Let me quickly check. Have you made any changes to it, Joking Luna? Since the last time we saw it? Or not there, different folder. This one.
I'm wondering about the problem. There is the 8-card pileup. And that seems like such an odd choice. Like, is there really no other problem that's better than just a vanilla 772 bonus? Like, a card that immediately comes to my mind is Foolish Argument would be better than that, right? Because that is a free bonus when you want it to be a free bonus. So that is
Yeah.
already so much better.
I mean, that's the usual wisdom, right? If the problem deck doesn't have Foolish Argument in it, you need to find a good reason why not to put it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that's one of the problems. I'm sure there's like some other yellow problems you can put in there. Foolish Argument did not exist back in Fest days.
Oh.
So that makes sense.
If it wasn't
Jacqueline
changed,
points
I
out this
guess.
is it was not changed since Fest. Well, that's probably the change that should be made because Foolish Argument seems just like straight up better than 8-card pileup. But I'm sure like there's other stuff you could put instead of that problem.
Let's see.
Like Swaying the Sea Ponies is a cool
Swaying
one.
was a card that I thought about, yeah. Immediately with so much.
It is an 8, but like I think a changeling deck should be able to get an 8. And it is a 4 yellow, but we already have another problem that's 4 yellow. Although that one does give +1 to everyone. And just distracted lead actors would also work. There's just so many yellow problems that are really good.
We have Bring Out Your Best in here already. Yeah, okay. There's I mean, yeah, we're playing for the bonus, so I want a high bonus problem.
Swing is the highest one.
Swaying is the highest. Yeah, I looked at the new one, the player designed one for the high requirement, but yeah, we're not playing. It's bonus 1. We're playing for.
Okay, used to have swing, but got locked out with yellow. Sure, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, and Bring Out Your Best does give all of your characters pretty much +1 power, so 4 yellow rec there is less of a concern. Like any free power character will do. Yeah. But I think going forward, this deck is not legal. But going forward, Foolish Argument, I think, would be an amazing inclusion instead of 8-card pileup.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, there are a lot of Friends Forever cards in here.
Yes. a lot of Changeling synergy comes from Friends Forever Harmony Changeling. So I don't know what Joking Loon is gonna play in core now.
That is unfortunate.
Maybe Puckwedges.
I guess. Well, yeah. Well, Joking Luna says he's gonna play this in Adventure and switch his main out to Chrysalis, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That is the fairly standard reaction when your deck becomes illegal in core. You start playing Adventure.
That's what I do.
Yep.
Or rather, don't. I haven't played my blue, purple, white in a while. Anyway,
Yep.
do you wanna
Yes.
go to the next one?
Next up is Prism.
Prism Light, I presume?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
you can look at the deck and also come to that.
Oh, yes,
conclusion.
yes. It's orange.
It's orange.
It's big.
It's big. 5s, 6s, 4s.
It's actually not as big as I've seen him playing.
It's not, but you know, there's reason to play some smaller stuff too.
Yeah.
Seeing that Apple Bloom and a good number of, I mean, yeah, what is that? That's 12. 12 orange events. 12 mighty fine orange events too. It's actually going to trigger a fair amount of the time.
Yeah, Apple Bloom is really good.
It's really awesome how, like, he's been playing this style for a long time and just tweaking and modifying it over time, and it's arrived now at quite an optimized form. Between, of course, all the synergy with Lionstone, cost reduction from Tempest Shadow, good amount of disruption between Apple Bloom and your Captain Jack and your event suite and Garble and such. Like, this is quite a tight deck list now.
Yeah. And this deck runs Big Max and Winter Sealess.
Some time for it to rotate. I mean, this deck is mostly print and play cards.
Yeah, a lot of the support for Big Orange came from print and play sets. There are like a few good cards in here, like Captain Jack is the immediate one. Rescue Party, I think, is whatever this deck can do without it. Big Mac is a big hit as well, I think, because it's such a good resource removal. But like otherwise, most of the stuff is print and play.
I mean, yeah. You look at Desert Road, but there's only one copy. Stick, there's only one copy.
Yeah, Pirate Ship is a fairly important card.
Pirate Ship is pretty good.
But yeah, I think that this deck will be just fine.
Yeah, even your problem deck is pretty.
Prism disagrees with me. He says Rescue Party will be tough to replace. I think the Ruby Jubilee is the immediate replacement.
Oh my goodness.
Into any orange deck. And that's why you don't need Pirate Ship anymore, because your stuff just doesn't go home.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just, ish.
I know it is not 4 for 6, but it is 6 for 4, isn't it? It's something like that. No, it's the other. How much Ruby Jubilee costed again? Do you remember?
Not enough. 4.
Not enough, yes.
But
yeah,
4, because we were talking about the Thunderlane test, yeah.
That's true. Good memory. Yeah, I think Ruby will be insane. Not just on this deck. But yeah, Pancake brings up a good point. The Rescue Party is really, really good against farm decks because of that extra flip. And yeah, that is true. Admittedly, Ruby would not be as good, but still good, right? Because if you lose, you're like, okay, I guess I have more power now.
Yeah.
Uh, but like, you would rather win a face-off every time, though.
Hmm. Hey, that's another thing. This deck, what's the flip average? It's well, doesn't rival a farm deck, but pretty darn good.
And it's 4. Stick will be gone too, but there's only one.
Right, and you have the benefit of Tempest. Yeah, knowing your flips as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this deck will be just fine.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, speaking of farm, round out
Oh no.
core. I mean, Pancake was at the tournament. What do you expect he was going to be playing?
I see Flurry Heart.
Yeah. So the Flurry Heart is a little. I don't think that was a normal inclusion in this farm deck before. Let me check again.
It is like, well, I mean, yeah, I don't think I've seen Flurry Heart in the farm deck. And I think if I had to guess, that is primarily because she can be counterproductive to your own goal.
Were you not at Ciderfest last year, Pancake? See a result from him. Anyway, guess the most
I
recent
don't think so.
file was ever for you last year, and he wasn't playing this deck anyway. Okay.
Okay, he's saying that this was the last chance to play Flurry Heart. That is a good point. What better reason to play Flurry Heart? But does this mean you knew about the fact that this is the last chance to play Flurry Heart, eh?
Hmm.
Hmm. Things were not announced until last week.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, the deck had always kind of focused chaos effects, so that makes sense. I see someone playing Shopkeeper, which makes me happy.
what did I rate Shopkeeper at?
Not
I
as high as
rated
me.
it bad. It's a
Yes.
bad card.
I rated it absurdly too good. Um, I need Pancake to win Continentals, or else my rating's wrong, basically.
You know, since like the only tournament we had since Prizeville Free was this one and Babscon, right? Oh, maybe Vancouver too. Yeah, Vancouver is another one.
Mhm.
Was Vancouver before or after Prizeville Free? Did Vancouver had CCG event? It did,
It
yes.
did,
Wow,
yes.
I cannot remember anything. Um, so,
I
so we can just say that there was not enough data on the shopkeep, and both of our ratings could be correct.
possible, I suppose.
I'd keep hands with 2 shopkeepers just because I knew I'd draw the card. And I need.
That's what I. That's what. See, that's what I said.
Yeah,
The ceiling is so
yeah,
high that if it can be made to work, it's gonna be
yeah.
made to
That
work.
is exactly what you said. Yes, I will admit that I was wrong about the shopkeep. But is anyone surprised, really?
I mean, one of us was gonna be wrong for sure. So
Yeah, that's the good thing about polarized ratings, right? One of them is correct. Unless the card is actual, like, mid, as they say.
right. Well, then we can say we're both half right, and there's
Yeah.
still one person who's right.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Half plus half is equals to 1.
Yeah,
Well, good news for Pancake. Shopkeeper's with us to stay for a while.
that's true. And like, since like the general composition of the deck in terms of ratio of friends, events, resources, troublemakers is probably going to stay broadly the same even after rotation. Um, like, if I look again, each section is losing about the same ratio. There are some friends forever, some printed, and some print and plays in like every piece between friends, events, resources, troublemakers. So you got like about the same amount of work to do.
Yeah. I mean, Berry Punch, there's only one copy of. Pony of Shadows, I think, is a huge hit. That's like a big, good troublemaker, but there's like the rest of the troublemakers are the new ones, so could be
Yeah.
fine. Stick is pretty unfortunate. Blindfold is whatever. It's like meta dependent. It's a sideboard card. I think you can survive without a blindfold for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and Berry Punch is like one copy. When your Shadow's leaving changes the entire dynamic of farm decks. Yeah, I agree. Which I think is a good thing.
Oh, I mean that's what rotation's all about, right? It's
yeah,
taking things up. Okay.
Pancake is playing his own card. The consolation prize.
That's right. That's right.
Even has his name on it. Literally has his name on it.
Wait. Oh, yes, down there at the bottom. I don't know why I was looking at the flavor text or whatever. Yeah.
Should have been a Trixie. Anyway,
yes. Okay, so that's all the core.
that was a lot of decks that we might see in some shape or form, but also might not see at all.
Yeah. I should clarify.
The Changeling is just dead.
Yeah. I should clarify that I still haven't looked at all the open beta stuff for New Generation. So I can't comment yet on replacements and stuff to come.
But we will get around that for the next stream, right?
We are gonna have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll announce.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. We'll talk about that when we get through the Harmony.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of, so yes, in the Harmony, it's some of the same people, not all of the same people. And we start in 6th place.
It's more changelings.
Yeah, that's a Harmony deck. Yeah. The player is Cotton Candy, double Ks, and this is Thorax. More changelings, different changelings.
Not enough Timbles.
Well, actually, it is mostly the same changelings.
Well, I don't know about mostly the same. There's a bunch of Harmony cards in here, and like the general.
Yeah,
there's cards other than changelings in here too.
Yes, I mean the specific changeling friends are mostly the same ones that were in.
Sure. The main is different.
The main is very different. Yeah.
But like in general, I see this as a kind of different deck. But also, main 6 entry is, I will say that's a choice.
Yeah, it's.
I'm guessing they did not have a third Changeling Citizens or something, because like Changeling Citizens makes so much sense in this deck compared to the main 6, which is one of the worst entries in the game. Can you name an entry that's worse than main 6?
Okay. Let me think about the Crystal Games entry cards. They were pretty bad.
They give you color.
But yeah.
For free AT. This card gives you color for 4 AT.
Yeah.
I love 2 color entry for 4 AT. Rock Farmer is the best entry. Don't you even start.
Shots fired from Joking Luna there. My goodness.
Don't you even start. Mods, can we ban this guy?
Let me see. In Premiere, it was always broadly cost efficient at least. Yeah, you may have a point. You may have a point.
Even in draft, this is the kind of entry that you might even consider passing, unless you're
I
desperate.
Jewel Joy, which card is that?
Jewel Joy is better than main 6 because Jewel Joy gives you 2 power for free AT and pink. Main 6 give you a color, 2 power for 4 AT. It's 1 more AT. Also, Jewel Joy gives other cards random crystal cards, which is might be relevant or might not be relevant. Who knows? But like, main 6 is pretty bad. Another thing about main 6 is that they only give you color until the end of the turn. Gotta spend more power counters if you want it for longer than that. And Jewel Joy gives you color forever as long as she's in play. So I would argue that Jewel Joy is a better entry into pink. If you need like a 6 color and wild card entry, sure, maybe main 6 is like if you're not playing pink, sure, main 6 is a better entry than Jewel Joy because Jewel Joy does not give you the color you want. But like run other entry.
Yeah, and we're in Harmony, even on Singing Barrels.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, this deck just runs white, like whatever alternative of Jewel Joy for white is. Like, that would be a better entry card than main 6.
okay. So don't mean to rag on Cotton Candy here.
Oh,
As
no, absolutely not. Like my guess is what happened is that they only have 2 Changeling Citizens, and they kind of substituted the third one with main 6 as like another card that also grows in power.
Mhm.
And like if they had the third copy, I think they would run the third one because it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, yeah. Only saying PSA to anyone out there. Not that there's anyone in the chat
Yes.
who's thinking about it, I'm sure. Uh, yeah, main 6 not the best card.
But yeah, otherwise, like it's cool to see changelings in Harmony. It's not something you see very often. And it's not like a pure changeling deck. There's like a bunch of little other stuff here, like that single copy of Valley Tread for resource removal, and you have
Mm-hmm.
Delivery Mare for Thorax power, presumably, uh, and like Fluttershy for your yellow entry.
Mm-hmm. Little
Oh,
bit
free
of
Kevins. Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah. Little bit of disruption between cornered. Well, actually, it's just a single copy of cornered, and I mean, yeah, we've got the Pharynx, which is usual. Singleton Changeling Throne is a bit. I mean, that's there. I guess that's an anti-chaos deck.
Maybe. I just noticed this is a 56 card deck.
Yeah,
Very specific number.
I mean, it's just one over normal. No, wait,
No,
it's,
that's
that's. I remember
6
seeing some
over normal.
55s like in the core, I think. But yeah, that's
Yes, there
6
have been
over the usual.
55s.
Yeah.
I mean, I am the one to speak. I am the guy who ran 50 free card decks and invitationals with
I mean,
Magic Arena included, if possible.
I don't argue with things you do. It's just what it is.
Hey, I won a game
You did.
with the combo deck, no less. With the stupid, I don't even remember what the combo was, other than that it was stupid.
Oh yeah, that narrows it down. Anyway. Anyway.
Only one PNP card. Yeah. Yeah. This deck could use some more PNP cards.
Which is the one?
It's the Chrysalis. Stolen Talent.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we know there's great changelings in there. That white yellow Thorax. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
All
Moving
right.
on.
Yep.
Yes. Cooking Luna again. I think I've seen his Fluttershy Beastmaster before. This one is. I'm gonna say this one is updated with some print and play stuff. It actually mostly isn't. Just oh, there's a few. Kindness can be and Professor Kindness.
Makes
Is
sense.
that it? That's actually it for the print and play cards, including the problem deck. But yeah, makes sense. Actually, yeah, I was gonna say like, as far as aggro decks go, like you could throw in the usual Bunyip or whatever. But I assume these decks are infrequently updated as before.
Yeah, Bunny would make a lot of sense. I would also, given that Pancake is in the tournament, I would also include Guard Geese.
Hmm.
And what that means is up to you. But yeah, it's critters, a lot of critters, a lot of harmony critters. I don't think I don't really see that often anymore. I know people
Uh,
have been playing with it before. I know it's popular in Popper,
sorry, which card are you referring to specifically?
all
Or
of them.
just those premier
Yeah,
critters? Yeah, I
like
think.
I mean, Fluttershy makes a lot of sense, given that everything is critter.
Right. Like I'm thinking like you said everything is critter, which makes me wonder what Philomena is actually doing in here. The one who makes everything critters. Um
It's giving +1 power to your leader of the pack, which is actually not the Fluttershy I was thinking it
that's
is.
right, right. The one who's not actually a critter.
And your kindest can be, and like it's a +1 power boost.
Sure. Yeah.
From your not +1 but +X power from your fast foods and Professor of Kindness and so on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, that's fair.
But also, yeah, now that I see that's not the right Fluttershy, not that there's the wrong Fluttershy. Uh, I'm surprised
It's
there's
not that
no.
other Fluttershy that costs 4 and has 4 power and
Yeah, it looks kind of like
is
similar.
another scene of Fluttershy surrounded by critters. Yes.
I'm surprised that card is not in this deck because it would just go so well, right?
It would be extremely good. Yeah.
The new generation will be new dimension and creator decks. Maybe I haven't seen all of the cards yet. I'm like
Okay.
cursed. Did not have a chance to catch up. Also makes them synergize with Flamingo. Oh yeah, teamwork.
Teamwork supportive. Yes, that's a good point.
So that's another +1.
Yep.
Okay, but now you do is you put the Chrysalis in here and you banish a teamwork card, and then you play Orange You're Glad for infinite AT.
I am actually a little bit surprised that no one's done anything with supportive for so long. Like
Supportive is kind of underwhelming.
so I think now that we have multicolor cards, you can do some some more interesting things with it. Like, yes, it in the olden days, like you could only run your supportive cards and your main was the same color. That one, so they were kind of locked in terms of what you could do with them deck building wise. But with multicolor stuff, you can get a little bit more interesting.
It's only +1 power, although supportive is a argumented keyword, as I would say, call it, where like it could be supportive 2 or supportive 5.
Mm-hmm.
Supportive 5 would be actually interesting. But then again, it's like it's such a specific keyword for such a kind of whatever effect. It's like, oh yeah, your main needs to be there, and it needs to be the same color, and then you get +1 power.
Hmm.
Compare that to like the blue yellow CC inflator, who's like, oh yeah, everything gets +1, or like all your Pegasi get +1, like the Professor of Kindness, all your creatures get +1. Sure, main gets +1 from Caretaker, but that's thanks to Caretaker, not thanks to the supportive. I don't think supportive is an exciting keyword, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I'd be cool with them with Sim exploring it a bit more, and maybe they have, and maybe they decide it's boring. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, moving on.
Yeah, cool deck though.
Brandon Pagano and playing Silver Screen. Pink Blue. Griffins. Not all Griffins. Some Griffins.
And Hippogriffs.
And Hippogriffs. Actually, yeah. Well, no, there are Earth Ponies and Unicorns. I was gonna say this is like the Wings deck, but no. No. There is no convenient flavor.
It is kind of like the Wings deck.
It is a good mix.
Somnambula.
Yeah. Pegasi, Griffins, and Hippogriffs. Yes. You haven't?
I haven't seen her in a while.
Not in a while.
Was she? Like, I have seen her before, yes. People have played her. But I have not seen her in many years now.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. She's when I have.
She was
her...
part of RNG deck, right? Maybe not.
Was she?
She was part of some pink deck, which makes sense. She has a 4-rec pink card, but I remember she was part of some pink deck was not a core deck at the time. I'm pretty sure, but maybe I'm misremembering.
I feel like there was a deck that was fairly like what's the word I'm looking for? Showed up to a fair well run that did use her consistently. But I don't remember which one. It wasn't PRP, it wasn't Reanimator. I think it was Reanimator at least.
Anamoy says, this player thought that replacing discard still did the discard. For example, boosted Gallus Friend. Oh, is there something that replaces discards here?
I
don't know which card would that be from the... Pinky Sense, right? Yeah, Pinky Sense. There we go. My browser was not scrolled all the way down. I did not see Pinky Sense. And I was like, the only card I can think of that replaces discard is Pinky Sense. And there it is, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and Fire. Fire is a good one. Yeah, forgot about Fire.
Both down at the bottom, yes.
Yeah, that does not boost Gallus, so you can't save all of your cards with Pinky Sense. And can't have a cake and eat it too,
Unfortunately.
Gabby, what does Gabby do?
Oh, Gabby for the discard trigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that would be pretty cool if it did work.
If it
Yes.
did work, it would be a really cool deck. Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Like a really cool idea. So yeah, yeah. Thinking. Thank you, Anamo, for pointing that out because like thinking of this deck in that with that in mind changes my perspective on this deck, and it's really cool actually. Like it's a cool idea, and yeah, I wish it worked now.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be really, really cool if it worked. Such a shame.
But this deck does not go all in into this, right? There's only 2 copies of Gallasus, so there's still like other stuff in here, and there's the steel partying, so you draw a bunch of cards, like you hopefully deck out. Steel partying is also presumably, well, not that anyone played Meal, at least not that we've seen in Harmony, but this deck doesn't have actually much in terms of Harmony. There's Bab's Seed. uh,
Uh,
the problem deck is a little,
yeah.
well, this deck is Adventure actually.
There's well, yes, yeah. There's a few events. Wonderbolt's Wrap, crashed. There's resource. Yeah, a few problems.
Yeah, but it's all Adventure. And even if you go into core, there's a lot of like you can easily convert this deck into a core deck.
Yep.
I feel like.
And another 55 card deck too.
Yeah. Is that like some sort of meta thing over there at Whinny City, or it's incredibly consistent that people run 55 card decks? Because in core there are also a couple of lists like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, I almost wondered for a second, like, is it 50 and then +5? No, it's
No, it's 50 -5. So another interesting thing is Lusterdon in here, which is not a pink or blue card.
mm-hmm.
It is a purple card. And it kind of makes sense, but also kind of doesn't, to me at least. It makes sense because you want Silverstream to be at a problem anyway, because of her ability. But
Oh,
also,
right. But you want to exhaust Silver Stream for her own effect, right?
yes, like now you have to choose: do I want the point or do I want the card? The answer is you probably want the point, but then your main basically has no effect, which is unfortunate.
Well,
Eccentric 2 is an effect, I guess.
yeah. Like, also, I'm wondering, like, this isn't a super aggro deck, so I think sometimes you want the card.
I think if you have an
but
opportunity,
you've got so much card draw. Yeah, yeah. The points
well,
probably.
it's not just that. I think it's very rare you would want to give up a point to get a card. It's just like the point is so much more valuable. I like unless I really need a card, like a card will win me the game or something. I think I choose point every time. Like I bet I'll pay 180 to draw that card and get the point.
Right.
It's just like points are so much better than cards in general. So yeah, I think you choose point every time. Well, most of the time, unless you really need a card and you really can't spend AT on it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's fair.
but also, this is not like maybe it's not like a pure aggro deck, but this is definitely aggro-ish. Or it is kind of maybe it is in the same line as what Cheese was playing at
Right. Right.
Invitationals.
Yeah,
Although
that's
Cheese was like purely focused on the combo part of it, and this one is less that, right? And
that's why I've learned that Angel Wings doesn't necessarily mean aggro.
yeah,
But yeah, cool deck.
yeah.
Real shame about the whole Gallows thing.
Yeah, I wish that worked. Yeah, like it'll be so cool if it worked. Props to Brandon.
Indeed. Okay, next along is no, this one.
Ooh,
Golden Note playing Yona and Sandbar mono. Oh, this isn't a farm deck. This is the outrageous outfit combo, or a outrageous outfit combo.
Yep.
Another adventure deck? Yes. No Premier block stuff in here. Anything weird or strange in here? There are a number of cheap, actually a lot of very, very cheap friends. Well, nobody's almost cheap. Well, it will be cheap in this deck, because I assume you're going fairly all in on the combo. Well, maybe not all in, all in.
Yeah. Probably. But also, like, what is the point of Ozol in this deck exactly? Point.
I mean, I think. Hmm. I was gonna say just to be a cheap friend, to contribute
To
to
have
the
one
unity.
white. I guess.
Because yeah, getting
Maybe
to
to get points on the chaos.
yeah, that's also a fair point. Oh, he's also a he's a resurrect target from surprise summoning, actually.
Aloe is colorless. That is incorrect. You can check in the OTR. It says white.
Yeah. He's also quite clearly white in this deck.
Yes, actually.
Yeah. There's like
Daisy Lily and Roseluck is actually such a cool card for this deck because it is 1 AT for 4 power. You just play them at home.
that is such a good point. Huh.
That's a really clever inclusion.
Yeah. It's a one cost Grim Hemline.
It is, yes. You need to have 4 rack, but once you're convent, you probably have that. Like, it's not a problem. Also, seeing that Opalescence, I really like Opalescence as the card, like card effect. Not related to this deck, but like, I wish we had more stasis-like effects, which is, I think, what they're called. I think the latest one we had is like Discord from High Magic, which is the same set as Opalescence. Maybe I'm forgetting something, but I'm pretty sure that's like the last one we've seen. In Discord, you use it on your own stuff, not on the opponent's stuff.
Right.
Although you can use Discord on opponent's stuff too. So
Yeah, it's a good point.
be cool to see more cards like Opalescence. But yeah, I don't quite get Ozol here, but I really like Daisy Lily and Rose like. I think it's a cool inclusion. Fancy Pants is useful for like entry, I guess, and returning cards. Uh, Although, yeah, I guess it would not be used for entry as much as for the returning cards part,
Yeah.
because all of the cards here, except the rarity herself, are 2 or less.
Well, and the
So
fancy pants stuff, but yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So like when you are gonna go for it, you have a lot of options. Like I'd assume, yeah, you want to your resurrect target to be Stellar Flare most of the time because it's 2 bodies. I'd assume,
yes.
unless you specifically want lots of white to get to Unity 15.
In which case you get Daisy Lily and Roseluck. Although the problem with Daisy Lily's Roseluck is most likely you'll have to play them at home,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're not a useful bunny.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, yeah, no, yeah. You have to play for white specifically. You have to play them as well, but you have some other options. You have Aloe, right? You
Mhm.
have opalescence to banish stuff. Maybe you get opalescence, banish something, and then play daily Lily or Nose. There's like a lot of neat things you can do here.
Yeah. I'll have a look quickly at the event suite as well. Well, I mean,
Belly flop
well,
of resources.
probably about resources. Yeah, and you have resources to spare. Uh, Swapping of like an overwhelming aroma into something, or even your summoning bell if you've used it a few times.
I know this is the Harmony. Well, this is an adventure deck. Well, this is a Harmony tournament. But looking at Outrageous Outfit, all of the things that are core to the deck, haha, core, will remain in core.
Um,
That is being Outrageous Outfit, the rarity, well, and other good cards.
yeah,
Like most of the cards that make the deck function way better than, yeah,
yeah,
will remain intact.
yeah. It's a fair point. Deck has it's been done in core and has worked reasonably well before. So it's a good point to bring it up and keep an eye out for it. The main two and the starting problem. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna play at HIFCON. Maybe this is what I play at HIFCON. We'll see.
Yeah.
Except I will run Pip main. Yeah, that's good. I'll run Pip main
Mm,
because she's white.
yeah.
I don't care that Yona and Bardis might be better for this deck.
Okay, so we've answered the question for sure of which main you're playing at HithCon.
Not for sure,
Not for
but
sure.
I will try.
Next along,
Anamoy.
Anamoy at number 2, playing Captain Selena.
Wow. This is an unusual deck to play for Anamoy, at least I feel like.
For Anamoy, yes. Looks a little bit. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Pancake playing this. Well,
Or Sokol.
yeah, there actually aren't that many epics in here. Just, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's got kind of it's got the Sokol vibe to it, yes. Selena, Tempest. That's all.
That's the signature.
That's the signature, yeah. Um, so yeah, not a farm deck. Not really.
I mean, yeah, you only have 3 Groggers,
Yeah,
which I
it's
think are here just to find your Art of Tempests.
yeah. It is a variation because it is still broadly an aggro deck between Tempest, between Luster Dawn, Lunch Break. Um, a fair number of confronting problems kind of things. Thunderlane there to be a win condition if you can get him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily fully wrong to use the Sokol vibe. It's a similar idea, just less one one note.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you look at Sokol's deck before the first rotation, I think this is what it kind of looked like.
Pretty close.
Kinda.
I mean, yeah, minus all the
All the new stuff, yeah.
all the new stuff. Yeah.
But like all the new stuff makes sense. Like, how about you is a perfect inclusion for a Selena deck?
Mm-hmm.
Although I do like the single, well, not single, 2 copies of Epic Win. I'm guessing that's because Pancake.
Yep. Yep. We need to. So what we're saying is, Pancake warps the meta, and so we need to ban him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Pancake is the menace of this tournament, and I mean the results show that.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, Epic Win is a really good deck, I think. Against if you know there's going to be a farm deck.
For sure. And easy enough to
But yeah.
sideboard out if you don't know.
Yes.
Anamoy is playing 50 cards. Oh, he says he got. That's the 3-point bonus, right?
Yes.
That's very good.
The only thing that's better is the Flash B Queen at 15 points. Imagine you're playing in Harmony your Flash B Queen deck and it's like ramps up and you're about to combo off, and then your opponent plays Epic Queen and epically wins against you.
Oh my goodness. All that work. That's just a.
That's what I should have done at Everfree last year. Because that's what you were playing in the Harmony tournament. You're
You
playing
knew
the
that.
Flash B
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah, you knew that.
And I knew that, yes. Well, I forgot by the time we got to the tournament. I was like trying to figure out what you do, and then you played Flash B. I was like, oh yeah, it's that deck. But then yeah, Epic Win would be so amazing, so hilarious. Really missed opportunity.
That's like so. Honestly, that's an interesting board state because both players have a chance to be greedy by letting it grow. And it's
Well,
whoever.
presumably I would have like at least 1 point, so I would be able to defeat it at 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my favorite part about this is that the card is called Epic Win. It's like,
Well,
and that like there's no, is there a more epic win to a round than that?
tough to find any. Tough to find any. Yeah.
It's just too perfect. This is why it was not meant to be, because it's too perfect. We mortals are not ready for that.
It's a shame.
It is. But yeah, otherwise it seems like blue good. There's a lot of cool blue good cards in here. Thunderlanes, Plushy Dashes, Fleetfoots. Reading Rainbow is the new card.
It is.
That's something that we haven't been paying much attention is how much of the prizable free cards people are using. And I'm under the impression we've seen like a fair few. This deck alone uses 2 cards from prizable free.
Let me quickly run back here. Maybe I should be looking at the core decks rather than the Harmony decks.
I have seen a couple for sure.
Yeah, there's been a few for sure. But yeah, between How About You and Reading Rainbow here, we mentioned the consolation prizes. That's one of them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Last
yeah,
deck?
Yeah.
Last deck is Pancake again.
Last but not least.
Yes. Similar deck. Harmony version of the deck, I guess. Still Skystar and orange pink chaos stuff. But and shopkeeps. But all the better Harmony.
Larry Hart was replaced with Big Mac. Exchanged one princess for another.
Yeah. Yeah. Because plus some power counters on your main are great.
Yeah. Wow. Remember that orange card that gives +1 power counters to everything that doesn't go home?
Yes.
Which includes characters.
Yep. So I'll point out, and obviously Sim is allowed to say that this isn't how it worked or whatever. But I think they got that idea from me.
Okay.
Yeah, because well, you remember that set that I put out. One of the cards
Uh,
in it was a very similar idea to that one. My card
it
said,
might be a coincidence, but sure.
I don't know. My card
Because I
said
think. Okay, go ahead.
it was just if this card would be sent to another area, you can put a +1 power counter on it instead.
I think that Sim as a policy don't look at fan created cards at all. We even have a CCG, like on the server, we have fan card creations channel. If you pay close attention, none of Sim members can view that
Well,
channel.
so when it was properly released, it was public. Like when I finished with it, I put it in general.
Yeah, no, I get that. But
Yeah,
like, the reason Sim cannot see that channel is because Sim specifically requested me to set it up such that they can't see that channel.
I see.
So it is on their own accord that they're not looking at the fan created cards. So if
Okay.
I had to guess, uh, it's a coincidence. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I'm still
but
gonna.
who knows? Yeah, you
I'm.
can. Yeah,
I can always say, oh well, I at least came up with something that eventually was
it's kind of like you got to design a card thing. Yeah,
something similar to it ended up in the game eventually. Yeah.
means it was a good idea. Well, we'll find out.
Yes. We'll find out. Yes.
This deck annoyed me. Yeah, I mean,
It's got yellow Parasprites in it. Of course it did.
yeah. I hate
I
Parasprites.
assume even with only 2 in there, he still opened up double Parasprites at some point in the tournament.
It had to happen. Well, I mean, what you do is, hold on, can you do that turn 1? No, you can't. Probably can't. Is there a way you can play and get the shopkeep effect turn 1? You need to play 4
Um.
cards. You have a friend, that's 180. You have a troublemaker, that's the second. You
Yeah.
can get Pinky Sense, that's the third.
Mm-hmm.
So now all you need a surprise party notes,
Yeah.
but you will not have pink for it. Oh, so close.
You. Oh yeah. If you open Buckball, which you can't in this deck, but if you did, then you might.
So you can do it turn 2, and then you get shopkeep, and then you get another one, and you get another one, and then you open with double player sprite because you probably drew them at that point.
That would be quite the opening, just in general. And if you go second and you have the extra AT,
Oh yeah, you can do that while being second.
yeah.
Well, no. Where will you get your pink anyway? You will not. Oh, you can play Rushed Makeover instead.
Well, like, wait, what are you playing it on though?
Your main because you will flip it. Like if you're doing the shopkeep thing, you're flipping your main probably, right?
So wait, hang on a second. So you have 3 AT.
Yes. 180 to play shopkeep, 180 to play Sprite, 180 to play Makeover into orange on your main, and then Pinky Sense. That's 4 cards and 380.
Okay, sorry, but you said you were gonna flip the main.
Yeah, you banish the shopkeep, get 480, and flip your main.
Okay, sure. Oh, sorry, I thought you were. Yes.
Like you asked what would you play it on, and it's like the only use out of this is that you flip your main and then you play some stuff you drew from the shopkeeper.
Sure. Okay. Sorry. It sounded like you were saying you would flip it before doing the
No.
thing.
No,
Okay.
you can't do that. If you flip it before, then you play surprise party notes, but you just can't. You don't have enough AT.
Okay. Right. Of course, the makeover is satisfying our event. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go. We found the perfect starter for this deck.
I don't know. I think I still prefer double Parasprite.
Well, that's the way you get double
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
Anything else to point out specifically?
No, it's just some cards good.
Some cards good. Yep. Yep. All of the stuff that's coming in from outside of core between Big Mac and Fernando and the utility troublemakers
Yeah.
makes sense.
Imagine if Nightmare Moon was legal.
Oh. Yeah. By which you mean the one that's not legal.
Yes. The only one that's not legal.
I mean, that
I
would
think
be.
this deck would run her so fast.
There are many decks that would run her so fast. That's why she was banned.
Probably, yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's all. Congratulations to everyone who played in the tournament. Hope you all had fun.
Seems fun.
I think everyone had fun. They played like extra rounds, 4 rounds instead of 3, so I think they all had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the thick of summer con season now. Between this, IthCon is 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks from now, which is very unfortunate because our stream would be 2 weeks from now.
Our stream would be 2 weeks from now, and we have so many things we still need to talk about.
Yeah, we didn't even scratch the surface on the huge announcement that the game not only is now in open beta, but the Continentals might be new core. That is a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
It'll be a shame if we were to talk about only like a month from now. And then there's also the HIFCON results. So much stuff.
Yeah. So, we talked about it, and we're going to call a bit of an audible. And our next stream, rather than being 2 weeks from now and therefore not happening, is actually just going to be next week, the 29th. And then from there, we'll resume on what would have been our normal schedule. So, the 20th.
The 20th, yes.
Yes.
So we're shifting our stream that would have fallen on HIFCON a week earlier, just because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah. And at that next stream, we're going to be covering the whole beta, talking about what we'll be doing for HithCon, right?
Yeah, and
at least maybe. Like, we're not going to do the sim thing and hold ourselves to what we said.
No. I will probably build a deck, like I'll print it an hour before the tournaments.
Yeah.
That's my style of deck building. But yeah, we'll probably talk about... We will not touch on the entire set. That's for the later time, for an 8-hour stream or more. But we'll just talk about like cards we like, decks, and so on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny, you mentioned your style of deck building. I finally got around to sorting all of my cards like yesterday from like the last con I went to. I guess it was Vancouver. And then I was thinking as I was putting them away, like, I'm gonna have to build a deck for HithCon in 2 weeks and take all these cards out again.
Just print them.
Just print them. Maybe I run all new print.
It just depends what is more time consuming: cutting the slips out from the paper, or actually going from your cards and building a deck. Depends on how your cards are organized.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Although, good news from sorting those cards. I thought that my promo bunyips were just lost somewhere, but I found them in a stack of promos.
Nice.
In the back of my closet. So that's also great. I don't have to borrow bunyips from anyone anymore.
Well, you don't have to borrow anything from anyone anymore for core.
That's true.
Which means I can't rely on GP building decks for me anymore.
Ooh. It's true.
Yeah. Which is a blessing and a curse. A blessing is that I did not have to do anything. Thank you so much, GP. That was great. But yeah, and like I need to. I don't have all of the print and play sets actually. I don't think I have leaders here. Like professionally printed. I mean.
Mhm.
But I do have some of them. I think I have fond memories, and it's still like a giant unsorted box, and I need to sleeve all of them, and it's a lot of work. I'll need to do that at some point.
Set aside an afternoon.
Yeah,
Some music
maybe I'll
on.
bring it to work and force Minty and Bai to take care of it.
All right. So, I think that's all for us today.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, 90 minutes, good sting. So, with that said, thank you to everyone for coming out and chatting with us. We had a lively chat today. It was wonderful.
yeah, a lot of people. I hope there'll be as many people next week.
We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. As stated, outside of the usual schedule, we will be back next week, Saturday, the 29th, to talk about HithCon. Other than that, until next time, I have been Cursive Chords.
And I've been Hifrock.
We will see you next Saturday.
Bye.